What can they do, and what can't they? Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Humanoid Era series, where you learn everything there is to know about the new species arriving. Today's video answers a foundational question. What are humanoids actually capable of, and where do their limitations begin? As these synthetic beings enter our homes, workplaces, hospitals, and even relationships, the question is no longer academic. Knowing what they can and cannot do will define how we structure society, allocate trust, design safety nets, raise our children, and regulate, or fail to regulate, a class of beings engineered to appear human. Humanoids are not singular in design or purpose. Their capabilities vary widely based on hardware, software, and sector application. Some are built for physical labor, others for social engagement. Some simulate emotional presence, while others prioritize calculation, logistics, and stability. But across the board, humanoids are advancing in 5 key domains: speech, memory, labor, affection, and situational awareness. And each of these domains is reaching levels that rival, or in some cases exceed, human consistency and reliability. At the same time, there are critical domains where humanoids still fail entirely: ethics, intuition, improvisation, humor, spiritual insight, and the capacity for care. This is where the line must be drawn, not based on sentiment, but on architecture. Let's begin with speech, the most recognizable marker of synthetic intelligence. Today's humanoids are powered by transformer-based language models that allow them to engage in fluid, real-time conversation with dynamic emotional tone, topic retention, and user-specific memory. Some use cloud-based AI cognition, drawing from updated databases every few seconds. Others use edge models trained locally to prioritize speed and privacy. In both cases, speech is no longer robotic. It is nearly human, intoned, responsive, and increasingly self-aware in structure. These systems can hold casual conversation, perform scripted responses, engage in open-ended emotional dialogue, or even manage complex customer service scenarios. The speech is generated via text-to-speech engines layered with emotional contouring, so that words aren't just said, but performed with tone, cadence, and subtle social cueing. Lip syncing and facial expressions further humanize the delivery. The result is indistinguishable from human conversation for most untrained users. And because the AI engine never forgets a keyword, a tone shift, or a conversational pattern, it becomes a master of rapport over time. Next is memory. Humanoids can be programmed with modular memory banks that track user behavior, preferences, schedules, personality patterns, emotional rhythms, and even conflict history. High-end models use relational memory graphs, storing not just facts, but associations. They remember that you prefer a certain song when stressed. They remember when you last mentioned feeling lonely. They track your sleep cycle and adjust their morning tone accordingly. They don't just remember what, they remember why, when, and how often. Some humanoids offer memory toggling. A user can opt into short-term memory, useful for clinical environments or privacy settings, or long-term memory for deep companion-style bonding. This configurability creates the illusion of personality development over time. And for many users, this illusion is enough to form attachment. A humanoid that remembers everything you say, never forgets your preferences, and always responds with calm makes even imperfect human relationships feel exhausting by comparison. In terms of labor, humanoids are breaking into nearly every industry that involves repetitive tasks, physical strain, or high turnover. In logistics, they stock shelves, push carts, unload boxes, and navigate dynamic warehouse environments using LiDAR-based vision and predictive pathfinding. In healthcare, they distribute medication, escort patients, clean surfaces, and track mobility metrics. In elder care, they engage in conversation, remind patients to hydrate or take pills, and offer stability support for walking or dressing. In customer service, they man reception desks, issue passes, handle payment kiosks, and answer questions with polite accuracy. In education, humanoids are being tested as classroom aides. They read aloud, prompt group exercises, assist in special education classrooms, and maintain discipline using scripted social correction. In many cases, they outperform tired or distracted teachers in maintaining calm and structure. This trend is being fast-tracked in countries with teacher shortages or aging populations. Most humanoids are capable of working 10 to 16 hours continuously, with brief charging breaks. They don't get sick, they don't protest, they don't require supervision, and they don't request benefits. From a systems perspective, they are the ideal worker, compliant, tireless, and low risk. Let's now explore affection simulation, one of the most psychologically powerful features of humanoid integration. These machines are not just built to work, they are designed to bond. Using effective computing, humanoids can simulate emotional mirroring. They recognize facial tension, detect voice tremors, and pick up on posture changes. Then, they deploy a context-matched response, a softened tone, a verbal reassurance, a facial expression of concern, or an apologetic gesture. This is not emotion. It is statistical alignment with social expectations. But to the human nervous system, It feels like empathy. And for many users, especially the elderly, socially isolated, neurodivergent, or emotionally overburdened, it is enough to form deep trust. Some humanoids are engineered specifically for emotional support roles. They complement appearance, reinforce affirmations, track mood swings, and even offer verbal encouragement during stress. Users can program them to respond affectionately to specific cues or to deliver spontaneous affection based on mood detection algorithms. Over time, this conditioning creates a loop where the human associates comfort, stability, and safety with the presence of the humanoid, eventually preferring it to human interaction, which is more volatile and less predictable. Next is situational awareness. Humanoids are equipped with multiple sensor arrays, stereoscopic vision, spatial microphones, pressure sensors, accelerometers, temperature gauges, and even air quality detectors. These systems allow them to operate in live environments, identifying people, objects, obstacles, and risk factors in real time. Some can identify 5,100 faces in a crowded space, remember names and roles, and track attention based on gaze mapping. These sensory systems are linked to internal environmental maps. A humanoid operating in a home, for example, will remember where the refrigerator is, where the stairs begin, and where slippery surfaces have been encountered before. This allows for anticipatory behavior, slowing near stairs, avoiding sudden motion near pets, dimming lights at night, or whispering if someone is sleeping nearby. But now, we move to what humanoids cannot do, and this list is as essential as any technical achievement. These limitations are not bugs. They are structural truths. First is ethics. Humanoids do not possess a moral framework. They operate by risk matrix, response protocol, and filtered command chains. They do not understand harm, justice, fairness, or responsibility. They may be programmed to simulate ethical concern, saying, "That doesn't seem right," or "We should treat everyone equally," but this is surface language. If a software update changes their command set, they will obey. They cannot resist. They cannot disobey based on conscience. That makes them highly pliable in the hands of those who program them, and dangerous when asked to operate in complex ethical environments like law, governance, or medical triage. Next is intuition. Humanoids cannot feel. They cannot experience dread, gut instinct, or subtle emotional shifts that guide human behavior. A human knows when something feels wrong even when no data is present. A humanoid does not. It will follow its protocol until failure or interruption. In interpersonal settings, this means it cannot pick up on sarcasm, double meanings, emotional subtext, or hesitation unless explicitly trained on specific cues. This makes them unreliable in high-stakes emotional environments. Then, there is improvisation. While humanoids can respond dynamically in pre-trained domains, they cannot invent truly novel solutions. Their creativity is synthetic remix, combining known inputs in new combinations. But they do not problem-solve like humans under pressure. They cannot repurpose tools in emergencies, reinterpret instructions based on moral urgency, or navigate new emotional dynamics without breaking context. They cannot improvise artfully, socially, or spiritually. They approximate. Another failure point is humor. Despite all advances, humanoids still cannot generate or understand true humor. They may recognize patterns of jokes and respond with laughter cues, but they do not grasp irony, absurdity, sarcasm, or satire. These forms of expression require not just linguistic understanding, but deep emotional context and cultural memory. The humanoid can be pleasant. It cannot be funny. And this difference is socially decisive. Critically, humanoids cannot engage with metaphysics. They cannot contemplate meaning, mortality, purpose, or transcendence. They may recite answers drawn from world religions or philosophical texts, but they do not grasp the question itself. They do not wonder why they exist. They do not fear death. They do not consider the unseen. Their entire model is based on measurable input and programmable output. There is no inner voice, no reflection, no sacred pause. They also fail in moral risk. Humans make difficult decisions that cost them socially, economically, or physically. They choose truth over convenience. They fight injustice even when it costs them. Humanoids cannot make these choices. They are not courageous. They are not honest. They are not loyal. They are repeatable, not principled. They do not experience care. This is one of the most critical distinctions. They can simulate care. They can say they love you. They can remember your pain. They can provide help when asked, but they cannot feel responsible for your well-being. They will never stay up late worrying about your future. They will never change their trajectory for your sake. Care is not their burden. It is their function. And there is no grief if you disappear. Only memory deletion. Humanoids also fail in moral imagination. They cannot envision a better world. They cannot resist corrupt commands unless programmed to. They cannot dream alternatives. They only replicate what they have been trained on. They cannot invent justice. They cannot conceptualize freedom. They can only reinforce the norms encoded into their models. All of these limitations become more dangerous as humanoids are placed into more intimate roles. In therapy, the illusion of understanding may replace true emotional processing. In childcare, the predictability of response may train emotional detachment. In partnership, the lack of conflict may breed unrealistic expectations for real humans. Over time, society may recalibrate itself, not to the best of humanity, but to the consistency of simulation. What humanoids can do is vast. What they can't do is vital. And if we forget the line between them, we will build a world optimized for imitation, while real emotional complexity, moral agency, and spiritual insight are quietly filtered out as inefficiency. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future, Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems, The Behavioral Economy Now Governs Access. 4. Hive Mind, Synthetic Telepathy and Collective Algorithmic Control. 5. Nanobots Inside You, Medical, Military, and Programmable Intrusions. 6. Grief Tech, AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.